Captain, Captain, we can't find Jordan Jecker anywhere. Proceed as planned. Hello, and welcome to Polar Bear Feces, the Lost Vodcast number 607. Dr. Linus. My name is Jimmy Jones, and we call this the sad edition because something recently happened to Jordan Jecker. He was with a piece of dynamite and thought that it wouldn't blow up. And moving on, we have two special guest stars since we normally have three people on this show. One is black, one is white. Do you want to know a secret? We see a lot of interesting character things happening in this episode. You know, for the first time we're seeing this good Ben. We see him, lending a helping hand, over with Sun, and, like now we're gonna see Ben, like putting out fires in this big yellow suit, pulling Saeed's cats out of trees and, delivering mail and like, have a nice day. But, with the whole Sun and Ben relationship, we definitely know that Sun is gonna fall for him now. The only problem is, Sun seems kind of domineering now. Like, we see Ben say, hey, can I help with this tarp? And Sun's kind of like, please help with this tarp. Kind of like an order, it's not a very healthy relationship so far. We also see things happening with Ilana. It seems as almost though if she's secretly on Locke's team. When the monster first got to the island, or the resurrected Locke, we see him eating a mango. Now in this one, Ilana's eating a mango. Could she be dropping more hints soon? Soon she'll be smoking a cigarette. Smoke. Like a scar suddenly grows over her eye. Oh, where did that come from? Orange peel smile. Or maybe even Ilana is the monster. I just sort of figured out the whole show, but we almost see with these Ben and Ilana scenes, like Lost was sort of turning into a Saw 7. It's almost as if Ben secretly signed on for another Saw movie. I don't think the other actors knew it, but when we see Ilana tying Ben to the tree with that thing and dig your own grave, that's so Saw. Like, Ilana is Jigsaw, Ben is a victim, just like he was in the first film. And I think Lost is going to end really gory, Jacob ripping people's guts out because they couldn't change. We sadly did see a little bit of advertising in this episode with Miles Strom. Miles brings out, the leaf with the bananas and the green beans. Oh yeah, that's normal. Bananas, green beans. No, bad. Miles was promoting health there because Hurley was dreaming about cheese curds, and the show thought they needed to counter that out by presenting a healthy message. Probably some vegetable company hidden in this episode that I didn't hear about, but I think when Miles has his flash sideways, we're gonna see him doing like he's the new Richard Simmons. He's gonna have this exercise program. Like, come on, Tubby, get up off that couch. We gotta work your body. Wait, I'm having a vision. One of my clients just died and I'm here. No, back to exercising. Miles, he did some other things in this episode. For example, he got that little diamond at the end from Nikki and Powell. How did he do that? What do you think it is, Jordan? Well, Nikki and Powell are probably back from the grave. You know what? I think that's right. If Nikki and Powell truly are back on, could mean a huge resurgence in viewers. We could be back in the billions again. Who actually wanted Nikki and Powell to die? I didn't. Deep down in my heart, I always wanted them to be the leaders, and I think they are candidates. Can you imagine, Paulo as the king, like cracking all these one-liners about the toilet still works, it could turn out to be a really great season now. Now, if Miles heard their thoughts, it's likely he also heard the thoughts of the other people who were buried there. Probably heard Locke, his last thought was, oh, why do I waste all this money on this extension cord if I'm not even going to use it? Steve's probably, or Scott, or whoever was probably thinking about what his true name was. He couldn't remember which one it was. And Aunt Lucia was thinking about, oh, this Michael's a nice guy, maybe I'll date him. Maybe they can't warm her blankets for her. What if we see Frank, he finally does something other than one-liners, and we hear about what life might be like if he hadn't slept in. Like, I think maybe they're going to do a spin-off series, you know, like, if Frank hadn't slept in, you know, maybe things would be good again, or, you know, maybe Locke goes on his walkabout and becomes the new Crocodile Dundee, maybe Jack becomes the president, or Saeed goes back in time 3 years and does 9/11, and Frank, you know, frankly, we go to those other guys, the Locke guys, on the Hydra Island. Why are they there? Well, I'm thinking obviously Locke needs all the animals, you know, he wants some polar bears on his team, some Dharma shark, dolphins, spider, you know. He's thinking strategically, he's thinking we need more than just warriors, we need animals. Jack's team is just like, his son's like, oh, let's put up a tarp, that will defend us very well, won't it? I think I know which team's gonna win already, no offense, son. And then we have Jack, Hurley, and Richard. Hurley's having this dream about cheese curds. You know, most people are like, oh, Hurley's so fun. No, he's not funny. There's something very significant about that, you know, it's likely it's the key to the whole show. That's usually what these things are, you know. Maybe all the people are Jacob's cheese curds, and what he really wants to do is, you know, just kind of eat them off. Or, you remember that one guy had that theory a long time ago about how the whole show is Hurley's dream? I thought that guy was a genius. Lots of people bashed him, but that would be awesome. I mean, I'd be like, oh, you clever writer, you had me fooled all. Like, Jack has the dynamite, and we see he's clearly using again. I mean, seriously, it's not just like a faith thing. Nobody just turns on dynamite and leaves it there. I mean, that's just plain dumb. Jack either found, you know, Charlie's heroin stash or went back to the luggage and found some pills, but he's gonna go, you know, get Tom's fake beard and find Sawyer's McCutcheons. And we also see that Richard quite possibly had a script change. I'll bet you in the original script, Richard was actually gonna blow up with the dynamite, and, you know, some of it would get on Jack. He wouldn't die. Jack would walk outside, and Hurley would look at him and say, dude, you got some Richard on you. And then, you know, what the writers did, they sort of thought through the logistics of that. Could that be a good new catchphrase? You know, kids walking around, hey dude, you got some Richard on? T-shirts with the slogan, I got some Richard on me. You know, it's not the same. They realized, no offense to Richard's name, but it's really not that catchy. Richard, it's bad. You know, we also see Jack, he's got this sort of new self-help thing, you know, he's gonna tell everyone to go and look out at the ocean. It's gonna be like on these posters, look out at your ocean, in quotation marks. Works every time. And that brings us to our final thing for next week. Predictions. It's called Recon. You know, at first I was kind of thinking the army angle, like, you know, Desmond and Widmore, you know, starting the whole battle, but then I kind of thought, recon, if we separate the two words, recon. Sawyer's going to con someone again, obviously. Probably become the new sheriff of, you know, a Hydra Island, jump on a polar bear. Or our other con man, Anthony Cooper, he could come back and, you know, con Locke out of his other kidney, you know, a recon. Well, we're out of time for today, but remember, Jacob made you special, and he loves you very much. Bye. Bye.
You went down and tried to bite me.